Trina, how did you become a mushroom farmer? Was this something you went to school for, a hobby you picked up? How did you get into it?
You know, my background is real estate. So this right here is my love. And out of necessity, I was looking to make a change in my eating, eliminate some meat. And I went on this mission to locate blue oyster mushrooms. I mean, after like the 4th place, I'm like, it can't be that hard to locate these mushrooms. So I made a few calls to Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, mushroom capital, and spoke with a lovely gentleman. And he was like, well, you know, after some back and forth, he said, why don't you just grow your own?
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna do that. And so ever since then, I started growing mushrooms. It's a nice niche, and I grow mushrooms for myself and for others.
Absolutely. Now, how many species of mushrooms do you grow here?
We grow several varieties. It depends on what the demand is that we'll cater to that particular variety. Right now, lion's mane or hericiums are on high demand. We have oyster mushrooms, chestnut, piapinos, and so this fall we'll be bringing in king trumpets and enokis. So it just depends on what the demand is.
Perfect. Now, not only do you grow the mushrooms, but you sell them, obviously, but you also have like mushroom jerky. So you get them in how many different forms? Like raw, dry. Tell us about the different ways that you provide.
The different forms are just astronomical for the mushrooms. So we sell them fresh, we sell them dehydrated, and we call them soup shrooms. And that way you can have them all year round. And now that it's getting colder, people may come get the soup shrooms and save them for mushroom soup season. We also have them in powders that you can enjoy and put them in your spices. We have mushroom spice, we have teas, we have mushroom coffee, the jerky as you mentioned. It's just so many ways for us to break down the mushrooms. We have mushroom kits, just a variety of unique mushroom products, tinctures, blended mushroom honey. So we do a lot of different things.
Wow.
Here. Yeah.
All right here.
All right here.
Perfect.
All right here.
Now you mentioned the mushroom growing kit. I see that's what you have here. Tell us a little more on how you actually start growing the mushroom. So I know mushroom is like a fungi.
That's right.
So like there's no seed. So like how do you get that process growing?
So mushrooms are going to start from spores, and the spores like billow in the air. But for here in our growth, we'll start off with spores as well, or we'll collect a piece. This happens to be a snow oyster mushroom, and we'll isolate some spores and place on this, we call it agar tray. In school, it was a petri dish, but same thing. And so we'll grow it out so the mycelium is fully grown, and then we'll introduce the mycelium into our grain spawn. This grain spawn has been sterilized. This is whole oats. It has been sterilized. We'll introduce the mycelium into the grain. Once the grain is fully myceliated, meaning it's taken over, we'll take that and we'll introduce it into substrate. That substrate is a mixture of hardwood and soy hulls. And once that is ready, a few days later, we will put it in fruiting conditions and we'll start to get our mushrooms out
in
of it.
In a few days. So how long would it take to grow something like this or the snow mushroom?
Start to finish somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh,
maybe
so that's
8.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you're like me and you have a brown thumb because gardening's not your thing, you can't kill a mushroom, can you?
You can.
Okay, well tell us how not to do it. So how do we kill mushrooms so that we don't do it?
So mushrooms require a few things to grow. We need fresh air because they like us, they like oxygen, bright light, and humidity. So if you starve it from fresh air, if you don't give it the right amount of light, and if you dry it out, it's gonna not work. But the kits, we try to take all the hard work out for it.
Okay.
So it's ready to fruit when you get it, so you'll just open it up and put an X in it and spritz it 2 to 3 times a day.
And that's it?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Place it in a nice spot in your home and just watch it grow out. It's a fun project for the kids.
Now let me ask you this, with the mushroom kit, is there a specific mushroom that they're growing in this kit, or can they grow any mushroom in that kit?
It's a variety. It's a variety of mushrooms that may come in the kit. We have blue oyster, brown oyster, pink, pearl, and this is one here called the mystery mushroom. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to take care of it so you can find out what's coming out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you mentioned you created this business out of a necessity, but you're also teaching others
Yeah.
in ways like this, and
That's
also
right.
in classes,
Right.
and your sipping spores.
Yes. So our Sip and Sport classes are held like monthly.
Okay.
And the goal is to introduce people into the cultivation of mushroom in a fun way. Not so much science, not a super involved way, but
Yeah.
to have fun with it. Expose them into, the substrate, the grain spot. We talk about the different parts of the mushroom. And they get to take home a fun project. They come out, they mango. We do have mushroom treats for you to try. And so they're introduced into mushroom dishes, and we have a mushroom coffee bar so they can try the different mushroom coffees. And they come out and, take a stroll around the farm, put together their own kit, and they'll, have a story to tell on the way to the next adventure.
This is absolutely wonderful. It's
Thank
such
you.
a great experience, and it's something so unique because I never think about sipping and spores, but and I won't lie, when I first saw her pull out the petri dish, I was a little intimidated. I said, oh my gosh, this is science. Like, I like science, but like, this is not my ministry.
Right.
But you kind of take the science out of it, make
We
it
do
easy
that.
for those because you probably had to do tons of research in order to grow each and every one of these mushrooms.
Tons of research. The learning curve is definitely deep. And so it's great to have a mentor to walk through the
Yeah.
process. You want to know if you're doing it right. You want to know how to keep them healthy. You want to know how to correct. So a lot of people will jump in and they'll learn how to grow, but they don't know how to problem solve.
Yeah.
So if something goes wrong with the mushrooms, well, why did that happen?
Right.
So it's great to have the education. I started off educating myself, but quickly realized that I'm going to have to invest in myself
Yeah.
to learn how to do it properly, and that's what I did.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you. I was going to ask what advice you would have for someone wanting to start or learn more about mushroom, but you pretty much answered it all right there.
Yeah.
Trina, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming out. And I hope that you stop by again.
Yes.
And I would like to, I know you feel some kind of way about the mushrooms. I want to introduce you into a few more things. So I appreciate you coming through.
Absolutely. And let our viewers know how they can get in touch with you.
So we're here located at 618 Prescott Road here in Columbia. We're also on our website. You can order there, which is thepurplemushroom.com. And we're on several different social medias, Instagram and Facebook.
Well, we're going to continue to learn more about the amazing cultivations and growing of mushrooms here at the Purple Mushroom Farm, and we'll be right back with more. Stick with us right here.